CQ, hello CQDX 15, calling CQ, hello CQDX 15 meters. Calling CQ, hello CQ 15, CQ, hello CQDX 15 meters. Okay, great, awesome. From Whiskey 2 Delta X-ray. Whiskey 2 Delta X-ray, calling CQDX. CQ, hello CQDX 15. Calling CQ, hello CQDX 15, beaming into Africa and the Indian Ocean. Looking for some gray line DX. From Whiskey 2 Delta X-ray. Whiskey 2 Delta X-ray in the state of Maine. Beaming Africa, Indian Ocean, and standing by for a call, over. Quiet. Let's go back to Europe. Let's go swing the stack here to Europe. Yeah, my green screen is funky, right? It's probably some lighting too, actually. It's make some tweaks there. Alright, so here we are, pointing towards Europe. And let's see what happens here. Facebook's not working again. Yeah, you're right, it dropped again. It's strange. I don't know what that's all about. Let me try it again. Let me give it a second here. Let me know if the YouTube is the YouTube stream's working. Calling CQ, hello CQDX, CQ, hello CQDX 15, calling CQ, hello CQDX 15 meters. Calling CQ, hello CQDX 15, calling CQ, hello CQDX 15 meters. Beaming Europe, Whiskey 2 Delta X-ray. Whiskey 2 Delta X-ray, calling CQ, hello CQDX, CQ, hello CQDX. CQDX, calling CQDX 15 meters. From Whiskey 2 Delta X-ray. Whiskey 2 Delta X-ray, beaming Europe and standing by for a call, over. Okay, somebody. QRZ15, calling CQ, hello CQ 15 meters, calling CQ, hello CQ 15. Calling CQ, hello CQ 15 meters, Whiskey 2 Delta X-ray. Whiskey 2 Delta X-ray, calling CQ. Calling CQ, hello CQDX, beaming Europe, Whiskey 2 Delta X-ray. Calling CQDX into Europe and standing by, over. Just some crickets. Okay, yeah, it's trying to connect to Facebook. It's really strange. Let me take a look here. Alright, let me try it again. There we go. Okay, just kicked it off again. Let's see what you get. Calling CQ. We'll call CQ to Europe one more time here. I'm going to swing west. Whiskey 2 Delta X-ray, calling CQ, hello CQDX 15, CQ, hello CQDX 15 meters. Calling CQ, hello CQDX 15, CQ, CQDX 15 meters, beaming Europe. Whiskey 2 Delta X-ray. Whiskey 2 Delta X-ray, beaming Europe. Testing some propagation across the pond here on 15. Calling CQ and standing by for a call, over. So, according to this, Facebook is... Yeah, okay, Charlie Echo 2 Lima Radio, thanks for the call. You're off the side of the stack here. Charlie Echo 2 Lima Radio from Whiskey 2 Denmark X-ray, name is Lee, Lima Echo, and the QTH is the state of Maine, over. It's QSB again. Yeah, okay, very good. I missed the name there, by the way. There's a lot of QSB to be expected off the side of the stack here. But you're peaking about a 5 and 4 off the side of the stack. What's the name? Go ahead. Yeah, okay, Matt. Very good. Thanks a lot for that. I appreciate it. Yeah, just some heavy QSB. Have you worked any other DX here on 15 today? Over? Yeah, it's heavy QSB. Wow. Yeah, I think you turned it back over, Matt. Yeah, the band is just heavy QSB right now, and it doesn't help. I'm not looking at you, but I think I'm going to start swinging the stacks here more to the west and see if we can make some noise in that direction. Thanks a lot, Matt, for the call. I appreciate it. Charlie Echo 2 Lima Radio from Whiskey 2 Delta X-Ray. Happy New Year, Matt. 73. Thanks, Matt. 73. Anybody else across the pond here, possibly, before I start moving the stack towards the west? Whiskey 2 Delta X-Ray. Over. Is this scrolling? Yeah, it's scrolling. Okay. It's pretty quiet. Let's put this thing to the west. Let's see what we can make a little noise here. Let's go Pacific. Let's see if we can work some guys in the U.S. towards the west here. When you look at all this FT8 stuff, there's all kinds of FT8 activity, which is fine. I would just like to see a little more sideband activity here, because there's clearly propagation, right? These yellow lines are the PWM board that turns the big rotating tower. So right now it's turning. If you come over here, you can see that it's probably just about right coming across here to the west. So this is a real-time feedback from the tower that we're turning. You can see here we're on a quad stack, 4/4 Yagis. The lowest one's at 55 feet, the highest one's at 160. All right, let's see what we can do over here. Let's go back up to 250-ish. Okay, looking west, calling CQ, LOCQ15, CQ, LOCQ15. Calling CQ, LOCQ15 meters, calling CQ, LOCQ15. Calling CQ, LOCQ50 meters, beaming west from the state of Maine, looking west from Whiskey 2 Denmark X-Ray. Whiskey 2 Delta X-Ray, calling CQ, LOCQ. Calling CQ, LOCQ15, CQ, LOCQ15 meters. Calling CQ, LOCQ15, beaming west, Whiskey 2 Delta X-Ray. Whiskey 2 Delta X-Ray, calling CQDX15 and standing by for a call. Over.
Whiskey 3 Bravo Mike Kilo.
Yeah, nice signal. Whiskey 3 Bravo Mike Kilo. Beautiful copy. Good afternoon. The name is Lee. Lima Echo Echo. Lima Echo Echo, and the QTH is the state of Maine. Over.
Okay, very good, Lee. The name here is Carl. Charlie Alpha Romeo Lima, and I'm in Pennsylvania, in Butler, just about 30 miles north of the city of Pittsburgh. And I've been listening to you there. I heard you working some DX. I couldn't hear it, but anyway, I could hear you. And I was hoping to see if I could work you, and here we are.
Fine business, Carl. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's the band's been kind of all over the place. I mean, I see we have must have a sunspot. I see the sunspot numbers up a little bit, and our SFI's up about 71, which is at least something that we have here, which is great. And usually with a little bit of activity there, we get some strange or at least some fun openings here on 15. Past couple days, worked some stuff into the Indian Ocean, South Africa, into Europe, and of course we always seem to have a nice pipeline to South America. But you're really strong from PA there. I actually didn't even look at the S meter honestly in the last over, but I'll give you a report on the next over, Carl. W3 Bravo Mike. I think it was Kilo. I think I got that last letter right. WW2DX, go ahead.
Okay, very good. Yeah, a little QSB there, but
Yeah.
that's the way the hand is today. But yeah, you were 5.9 plus there when you first come on. Eased up a little bit, then back up again. Very nice.
Wow.
Very nice signal.
Dropping right down to the noise.
100 watts here in a vertical antenna here, and the ICOM 7300.
A lot of those radios out there.
PR 781 radio on. So I'm going to be, searching around here today too on.
Wow, I faded right out.
Maybe we'll find something. Since I've been on 15, and today I just
Got a station just above us too.
decided to push the button. I'm here a little bit often there, Lee.
Yeah, okay, Carl. Man, I tell you, you dropped right out on a few peaks during that last transmission, so the band's moving around a bit here. But I did get you running the vertical and 100 watts and the 7300, which I think ICOM really did a good job on that line of radios. Really, there's a lot of them on the air, and they sound fantastic. Actually have a 9700, the sister, the VHF UHF microwave model. I actually took that radio. It was actually donated to us for a DXpedition back in August. We went up to CY9, St. Paul Island, and then I ended up purchasing that radio from ICOM after the expedition. I did moon bounce with that radio, and it was just fantastic. Worked really, really well. So happy with that line of ICOM radios. They did a great job. Anyway, Carl, very good. I appreciate the call. I'm going to work some more guys here with the stacks towards the west. By the way, I didn't know if I told you, I'm running a flex radio here, running about 1 kilowatt, and the antenna is a big 4 quad stack. It's 4 over 4 over 4 over 4 on a big rotating tower up here on the coast of Maine. So got a little fire in the wire, Carl. Whiskey 3 Bravo Mike Kilo. I'll say 73. Hope to work you again for sure. Have a great new year from WW2DX in Maine. Over.
Okay, Lee, very good. Well, thank you very much, and hope get to work lots of good DX this year. 73, Lee.
73, Carl. Appreciate the contact here today. Anybody else looking west here from Whiskey 2 Delta X-Ray? Over.
Kilo, Florida 5, Victor Delta X-Ray.
Whiskey 2, Delta X-Ray, you copy Kilo, Bravo 8, Papa Yankee Golf.
Okay, a couple stations in there. Kilo Fox 5. So I heard first. Kilo Fox 5, Victor Delta X-Ray. Good afternoon. The name is Lee, Lima Echo Echo. The QTH is the state of Maine. Over.
Roger, Lee, got your QRZ page up, looking at it. My name is Gary, Golf Alpha Romeo Yankee. I got a quick question for you. I just happened to listen to the last QSO. I've been I tuned up here. You're the only thing that I'm seeing on 15, but that doesn't mean it's the only thing out there, obviously. But you're the only blip I've got on my screen. But Sable Island, I just actually was looking last week. Are you guys going to Sable Island this year?
Yeah, Roger, Gary. That's the plan. That's the current plan. The same group that went to St. Paul, we're planning on going to Sable, Charlie Yankee 0, and we're not sure the exact time frame. Getting out there is extremely, what's the word? unpredictable, I guess. Getting out there and then getting off the island, it can be extremely tricky. You're landing out on the beach, and as we start to arrive on the beach, they check the beach to make sure it's safe enough for the tires of the plane to actually land there. So that's always comforting. And but once we get there, the accommodations are actually pretty awesome. Looking forward to it. There's wild horses on that island, so just really looking forward to that experience and working some moon bounce and making some cues from there. Gary, go ahead.
I actually had just looked it up here recently myself, thinking it's not extremely expensive getting out there, and I did notice they land on the beach. You might have to stay an extra day or two. In fact, the website tells you to bring extra
Sure do.
food and things just in case you cannot get out of the island, depending upon weather. But I was reading also it's going to be closed up. They're going to stop letting people come out there for the expeditions. Have you seen anything like that? Have y'all run into any trouble trying to get the park to allow it?
Yeah, so it's getting harder. There's no question about that. They are starting to restrict a lot of access to the island. Luckily, a few of the members of this team have been there many times in the past, so there's some history there, obviously, which makes things easier. And there's obviously rules once you get there. But luckily, they gave us permission, and yeah, I think you're correct. I think from kind of this point forward, it's going to be a harder thing to pull off. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I was reading, and then when I saw it on your QRZ page, I thought, well, good, at least I've got a shot at it. There's been a couple of guys up there over the last couple of 3 years that I have not been able to break the pileups to get in there, too. It'll be an all-time new one for me if I can work you guys, so I'll keep that in my DX calendar and start looking. Do you know what tentative dates you've got yet?
So it's going to be either, most likely, it's going to be either end of August, September, October mainframe. I think it's going to be closer to October or maybe the first week in October, somewhere in there. But again, that could fluctuate. It could even be further into September. But we'll know as we get closer over the next couple months. As we get closer, things will really start to narrow in the dates. But it'll be all over the place, Gary, for sure. It'll be posted everywhere. Go ahead.
Well, good. I will definitely be trying to work you. So, listen, I'll get out of your hair and just heard you calling. Maybe you can actually work some DX and get out of the state with that beam. Quite a stack you've got there. Anyway, I'll say 73s, Lee. 73s, and watch for me on the CY0.
Yeah, Roger, Gary. Absolutely. Looking forward to it and getting those cues out and having a lot of fun. And checking out that spot on the globe. It's looks pretty unique up there. The graveyard of the Atlantic is what they call it. So I don't know, maybe that's not such a good thing. Anyway, Gary, thanks a lot. Have a great New Year and good luck with Charlie Yankee 0, Kilo Fox 5, Victor Delta X-Ray from Whiskey 2, Delta X-Ray in Maine. 73, Gary. Appreciate the call.
73.
Okay, there was another station. There was a it was Kilo Bravo 8. Is a Kilo Bravo 8 still on frequency? Over.
Yes, WW2DX, this is Kilo Bravo 8 Papa Yankee Golf. Name's Ken, Kilo Echo November, and my location is Cambridge, Ohio. How copy, Lee?
Yeah, okay, Ken. Very good. Kilo Bravo 8 Papa Yankee Germany. From WW2DX. Fine business, Ken. No problem whatsoever. I'll give you a report on the next over. I think you got the name is Lee, and the name and the QTH is up here in Maine. Go ahead.
Okay, Roger there, Lee. Okay, yeah, well, I'm barefoot here on a Yaesu FT757 here, running about 50 or 60 watts right now, Lee. That's all I'm running, and. The antenna here is an IMAX 2000 vertical, and
a lot of verticals.
Yeah, and if you are talking on stack 4, double stacked antennas, and they're useful quads, to my understanding. Is that correct?
Not quite, Ken. So this is 4 stacked Yagis. They're actually big tri-banders, 16 element tri-banders, but 4 active elements here on 15 meters. So 4 over 4 over 4 over 4 here on 15. The lowest one's at 55 feet, and the highest one's at 160 feet. Ken, go ahead.
Oh, wow. Yeah, okay, roger on that. Yeah, that's quite an antenna there for 15 meters.
Okay, Rock,
yeah.
thanks. 30-second
well,
delay?
you're
That's
booming
probably
in
about
here
right.
Good. Your signal is fading a little bit out, but I had, when I first had you in there, you were Q5 in here, and we're sounding really good in here today. And but I don't hear a whole lot of people here on 15 meters, 21 megahertz here very often, Lee. And so that's why I'm kind of getting back to you actually. And
Yeah, make some noise.
The conditions must be pretty good here for 15 meters today. Back to you, Lee.
Yeah, okay, Ken. Yeah, I think what happens is people just don't think it's open, and got to make a little noise and shake it up a little bit. And past couple days worked into the Indian Ocean, ZS South Africa, worked in Italy, Zulu 1 just a few moments ago, maybe half an hour ago here on 15. So there's a path into Europe for sure, and worked a couple stations in South America. So the band is definitely have some life to it, and I think people just got to make a little noise. You go down to FTA and it's just constant signals and super strong signals. So I don't know. I think it's you got to make a little noise to see if it's open. But anyway, okay, Ken, I appreciate the call. Won't hold it. I'll see if I can work a few more out west here. I got to stack towards the west. Maybe we can hit the west coast and maybe into the Pacific, maybe King Henry 6, something like that here. Should be about right time for that, so we'll see what happens. Thanks a lot, Ken. Kilo Bravo 8, Papa Yankee, Germany and Ohio. I'm assuming you definitely go to Dayton or Xenia, whatever it is now, but we go every year. Maybe we'll catch you there this coming May. From WW2DX in Maine. 73, Ken. Happy New Year. Wow, it dropped right out. Unbelievable. Man, just dropped right out. 73, Ken, 73. Boy, you took a big dive that last over, so a lot of QSB. This is Whiskey 2 Delta X-Ray beaming west, calling CQ 15 and standing by. Any other stations to the west? Over. Crickets. Just crickets. Calling CQ, hello CQDX. I don't know if CQDX might be pushing it. CQ, hello CQ15. Calling CQ, hello CQ15 meters. Calling CQ, hello CQ15. From Whiskey 2 Delta X-Ray. Whiskey 2 Delta X-Ray. Calling CQ, hello CQDX15. CQ, hello CQDX15 meters. Calling CQ, hello CQDX15. Beaming west, looking west coast, looking the Pacific. From Whiskey 2 Delta X-Ray, calling CQ and standing by for a call. Over. Yeah, okay, Alpha Charlie 8 November Radio. Thanks for the call. Alpha Charlie 8 November Radio. From WW2DX, name is Lee, Lima Echo Echo. And the QTH is the Atlantic Ocean and the state of Maine. Over. Wow. Completely gone. Somebody just below us here on the band. Yeah, Alpha Charlie 8 November Radio. I lost you, man. The QSB just dropped right out. Alpha Charlie 8 November Radio. Try it again. Over. Wow. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to go to 20 here in a minute, see if we make a little noise up there. Okay, Alpha Charlie 8 November Radio. I lost you in there in QSB. You completely dropped out on me. If you hear me again, give me another call. I'll try a couple more calls to the west here, and then I might go up to 20 meters or down to 20 meters and see what's going on. QRZ 15. Any other stations beaming west here? WW2DX. Over.
WW2DX K5WLT.
Yeah, is that Whiskey Lima, Germany?
Whiskey Lima Tango.
Okay, got it. K5, Whiskey Lima Tango. Beautiful signal. I didn't actually look at the meter yet. I'll give you a report on the over. Name is Lee, Lima Echo Echo. QTH here is Jonesport, Maine on the Atlantic Ocean. And looking in your direction, Kilo 5, Whiskey Lima Tango from WW2DX, over.
Okay, let me get that down before I forget it. WW2DX. What a neat call sign.
Plus 6.
This is K5WLT. Name is Ronnie, RONNIE, near San Antonio. Now I'm going to turn the attenuator off and see what your meter reading is. I think it's the highest I've ever seen on my rig yet, because you are flat up there.
I'll take that.
At least 20 over with the attenuator on.
I'll take that for sure.
I have a friend in Newfoundland that I like to work on 15 meters from time to time, and I'll bet if he was on today we could do it, because he's in your direction. So, very good, Lee. As I said, name is Ronnie. We're just east of San Antonio. Over.
Yeah, okay, Ronnie. Very good. Man, just booming in up here. Just really crushing it here. Your plus 6 dB, plus 6, 5.9 plus 6 was the peak that I saw here on the flex meter, which is very accurate, and right down to the dB level. So I saw plus 6 on that last over. Heavy QSB on the band. I just tried working Alpha Charlie 8 November Radio and got his call next over, never heard him again. So just the band's kind of a little unstable, to be expected. And fine business on your buddy up in Victor Ocean Land. Very good. Was just up there last August for a de-expedition up in St. Paul Island on Charlie Yankee 9. Charlie Yankee 9 Charlie was the call sign we had up there. Anyway, you're 59 plus 6, running about a kilowatt here, Ronnie. And the antenna is a big quad stack. It's 4 over 4 over 4 over 4 on rotating tower. And we're pointing right directly across the U.S. here into California and into the Pacific. So you're a little bit off the side, but just absolutely crushing it. Kilo 5, Whiskey Lima Tango in San Antonio. WW2DX in Maine. Go ahead.
Okay, Lee, needless to
That's
say,
plus
solid
9.
copy. Well, with the attenuator off, it's hitting peaks of 30 over 9 on a TS590
Take a 30 over.
SG. And my antenna is nothing to brag on here, Lee. It's a dipole cut for 80 meters. But
It's
here
working.
for 15, it's got a little gain because it's 3 wavelengths. 3 wavelengths on 15 meters.
Yeah.
And I positioned the wire so that the gain would go northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest. And so one lobe does point up in your general direction there. Yeah, I'd sure like to work that CY9 when you were up there. Goodness gracious, that must be super rare. I've been a ham 60 years. I've never heard anybody with that call sign. Now, I've seen it on the map and wondered why, I'd never heard anybody from there. Is that a very unpopulated area or what? Over?
Yeah, Roger. It's very rare. There's no inhabitants whatsoever. As a matter of fact, there's no life other than, there's no animals. I should say that. There's obviously trees and grass and things of that nature, but there's no living species on the island. Animals-wise, they tried to populate it with rabbits. That didn't work. Didn't last very long. But CY9, St. Paul has a very interesting history. They calculate roughly 1,500 souls on that small island. They call that the graveyard of the St. Lawrence. So a lot of shipwrecks on that island. It's a very dangerous island. There's 100-foot cliffs around the whole thing. On the North Island, we were on the North Island. It's actually my second trip there. I was on that island 2 years prior in 2016. With a big group, and we went back this past August with a smaller group, and we have to take everything from the northern tip of Great Britain by helicopter. So the whole expedition, got the humans, the radios, the fuel, the oil, the antennas, coaxes, tents, you name it. Everything had to be transported there and back by helicopter. And as you know, helicopters do not have very big cargo bays, so it was a lot of planning and a lot of trips by helicopter to get all that gear over and all that gear back. But we had a fantastic time out there. Between the two visits to the island, we made I think it was just under 100,000 contacts. So we made a lot of contacts up there. And this time around, I did a lot of 2-meter EME and 6-meter operation, both EME and terrestrial, and had some very unexpected openings, which was fantastic. Even worked Europeans on 6-meter phone, which is the first time I think that's ever happened. So we had a great time, and we're planning on heading up to CY0, which is the Sable Island, and that's the sandbar out there 100 miles due east of Newfoundland, or actually Nova Scotia, Sydney, and they call that the graveyard of the Atlantic. So that's our plan, is to get out there this coming fall, September, October timeframe, perhaps somewhere in there. We're still not sure on the exact date, but we're going to be going up there for at least probably 7 to 10 days, is my guess, Ronnie. K5 Whiskey Lima Tango near San Antonio, WW2DX. Go ahead.
Okay, Lee, very good. Boy, very interesting. Very, very interesting for sure. Well, the best I've ever done on 6 meters, I do play with that band. Don't have a big station here, just a little 5-element homebrew beam. And I can run the amplifier there, so I can get 300-400 watts if I need it.
Big signal up the band.
But I have worked VY0 on 6, but that's about the best up in that general direction. So 6 meters must have been fun from there. I wonder what you told me probably, Lee, but I forgot. What time of the year was it when you were in the CY9 area? Over.
Yeah, we were there just this past. It was the first week of. Wow, I think it was the first week of August. First week of August. I think it was the first week of August. No, I can't remember. I think it was the first week of August. Either first week of August or first week of September. But I think it was August. Go ahead.
Yeah,
no, maybe
okay.
it was September.
Well, that's when 6 would have
wow,
been doing
losing it.
Good. The summer months, of course, 6.
I'm an old man.
To have sporadic E on it pretty good.
It had to be later than that, right?
Time to be up there. Boy,
had to be way later because the East Skip season was technically over.
I'll bet that was a real. It would have been for me. I know that. Well, my friend in Newfoundland likes to operate just 10 kcs down from
His audio
here,
sounds good.
21250, and I was down there calling him, and I heard just a little bit of scratching, and I went to tuning, and that's when I found your big signal here. So I'm very happy to work you, Lee. What else have you heard on 15 today? Over.
Yeah, okay, Ronnie, very good. I see another really strong signal up the band, so I guess maybe making a little noise here. We're getting some interest here. But yeah, so on 15, so today I worked an India Zulu 1 in Italy, and worked down in Charlie Echo, and a couple guys here in the States. Past couple days, I've been trying to get on and make some noise and see what propagation's been doing. I worked into the Indian Ocean, the Fox Radio, Zulu Sierra, a handful of Europeans, and even Northern Europeans up into GM0 land, which is even a harder path this time of year, and a bunch of South Americans. So, the band definitely has life to it. I just think a lot of people aren't checking it out or making a little noise and see if there's anything going on there. Ronnie, go ahead.
Yeah, Lee, I know that to be true. My friend in Newfoundland says the same thing. If we go down and listen to 21075, and there's always FT8
exactly.
signals there.
Sure is.
It's 9 to 10 over 9. It's almost daily.
Somebody
and
creeping
you
up the
can
band.
tune the whole phone band, nothing. Call CQ and get nothing. So I know this spectrum is open. It's just not used enough. There was some talk about allowing technicians to have a slice of 15, and I wish they'd do it, and I'll tell you why. Because it really did perk up 10 meters when they did that. And I think if they did that, the 15-meter band would really come alive, because it's open most days. Over.
Yes, it is absolutely, and I've worked a few guys that claim they made cues up to on 10 meters across the pond. QRX, 1 second. Okay. Yeah, so there's definitely life. There definitely is some life out there, and I think we all sort of just kind of listen around. We don't see much going on and just assume it's dead. But the tall tale sign is FT8, and you're absolutely correct. There's always something going on there, and that's a great beacon to see what propagation is happening there. So, and there's very strong signals as well. Like you said, they could be plus, over S9. And so we know there's propagation. The question has always been where, but you just never know. It's like 6 meters. 6 meters is the same thing. You just never know sometimes with that propagation. That's why they call it the magic band. And it could have a completely dead band, call CQ, and work some extremely rare part of the world, completely random. That's happened a number of times throughout the years, Ronnie. And I love one of my favorite bands, 6 meters. You have to have a lot of patience, but I can tell you when conditions are right, or sometimes just unknown, it's very magical, no question. K5 Whiskey Lima Tango, San Antonio, WW2DX in Maine. Go ahead, Ronnie.
Okay, Lee, very good. K5WLT returning. By the way, I said San Antonio because I'm near there. I'm actually about 40 miles due east of San Antonio. And the city of license, I guess, where my mail comes, is Seguin, Texas, a little suburb, you might say, of San Antonio, or will be soon, the way that city's growing. Yeah, 6 meters. I love 6. I even, in the memory channels on the rig, I stored the old Channel 2 analog TV frequency.
Propagation,
carrier, which is 55.250, plus or minus 10 kcs. There's 3 offset channels there. And occasionally I'll go up there and listen, and in the CW mode, and I hear a heterodyne. And it'll have a little sync buzz on it, 60 cycle sync buzz. So there's TV signals, and my research on the internet tells me that the only place left that's transmitting analog TV very much consistently is Central and South America and some of the Caribbean islands. And you'd be surprised how often I can go to that frequency, hear that little TV carrier there, telling me that the band's open, but nobody on the 6-meter band. Over.
Yep, that's usually the case, for sure. It's a lot of times. I remember I grew up as a kid in the state of Maine, and I remember hearing beacons into TF and Oscar.
Use that information